Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Mid South Wrestling Review for the the 2nd of March, 1985, and we'll be running through March and April today, hoping to have those up. Maybe get to some more today too. I'm not really sure what my schedule holds, but we'll get where we get. If you're new here, please subscribe. Subscribers will be helpful. Trying to monetize the channel this year. If we can monetize properly over the next few years, the goal is to actually turn what we do here into an independent promotion funding source. So a subscription would be helpful. Anyway, um, and so as mentioned, we're moving into March of 1985. Big time for wrestling history. Obviously, WrestleMania 1 is the end of this month, and Mid South keeps rolling on. Although some people say this could be the beginning of the end in some ways, in that the nature of what's here could force things forward. Anyway, so Horner versus Taylor for the Mid South television title. Obviously, um, Terry Taylor has been a television champion for quite a while here, and on and off. Tim Horner, probably one of the better baby faces in the area in terms of just the nature of how he has built, how he has grown and developed. Not really getting a push. He's kind of been, tag matches and non directed stuff, but at the same time, he's been a top guy, or at least a top enhancement guy and a baby face for a while. We basically see both guys fight over arm control. Taylor brings him over. Horner stays on the arm for quite a bit. Taylor has remained a babyface the majority of the time he's here. We see Taylor do the roll onto the shoulders a bit for quite a bit here. And Horner continues to stay right on the arm of his adversary. Taylor has people coming from all directions. Of course, his former issues with guys like Ted DiBiase and the Dr. Death, Steve William, among others, come to a head here this year. Anyway, Taylor manages a body slam, doesn't get all he wants on it, gets enough though. He attempts the hip lock takeover, backslide by Taylor. How often do we see backslides these days? Meanwhile, Tim Horner gets frustrated and ends up getting caught up. Gets caught up in the backslide 1-2-3 win, surprised by Taylor on that particular move. Hacksaw Duggan addressing DiBiase and Williams says he's going to fight more than he has before. Says he's ready to take them out at a whole nother level. He's not happy with any of what's going on in the area. Jake Roberts calling out Terry Taylor, basically saying he wants to fight him. He wants the challenge. He wants the ability to be the television champion. Basically intimates that Taylor, in fact, in his mind, is a coward. And we kind of go forward from there. Gorgeous Gino Hernandez makes a quick stop through Mid South. Hernandez, of course, being partnered with or involved primarily in Houston and World Class, both of which have ties to Paul Bosch, who I believe Bill Watts is doing a little bit of business with at this time. Anyway, Hernandez with some back elbows. Hernandez at the time, one of the better guys in the Texas area and able to apply himself here. Tom Pritchard been around for about 6 years here. This is his first, I don't want to say major territory, but probably first close to national exposure. Um, and I mean, Pritchard, manages a kick under the chin of Hernandez, kind of spins him around, punches there. Enziguri, actually. Back leg Enziguri by Tom Pritchard. Pritchard manages a slide over, attempts a sunset flip, doesn't get all he wants on it, but gets enough to be in control for a minute. Big back body drop. Hernandez sends him up into the lights. And then we see Hernandez with the Irish whip into the other corner. Misses the shoulder tackle in the corner and doesn't get exactly what he wants on that. But Hernandez there goes for the vertical suplex and executes it appropriately. Hernandez does get a victory soon thereafter with a back elbow from the second rope on the inside and Hernandez is your victor. I don't know if there were more plans for Hernandez to be, I don't want to say a major star in the area, but at least a consistent star in the area. Unclear on that. DiBiase and Dr. Death up next here. And they are obviously members of the reformed Rat Pack, maybe? Daniels and Armstrong, the adversaries for them. DiBiase, once again, your North American champion, has been for a while, continues to be a major force. Of course, Brad Armstrong, a former champion. We've seen DiBiase wrestle both guys in a singles format, so this is not new. Daniels and Armstrong, I think, team a few times here in the area at the time. Williams still hasn't found his main event style push, but continues to be one of the better guys in the area. Sidestepping after some shoulder tackles by Terry Daniels. Daniels with a series of arm drags, not the least bit intimidated. Uh, Armstrong comes up, manages the Irish whip, goes off into the ether and kind of does the basic shoulder tackle. Double team maneuver attempted by DiBiase and Williams. That doesn't go well. Several arm drags by Armstrong. Armstrong slides over the back, attempts to roll up. DiBiase holds on and gets caught with a drop kick right under the chin. Brad Armstrong, probably one of the better baby faces in the area at the time. DiBiase bails out to the floor and ultimately gets caught, or DiBiase catches him with a cheap shot there. DiBiase stumbling around and having some degree of difficulty with Armstrong. Williams comes back in legally, manages to use his power against the former North American champion. Doesn't get, you know, everything he wants out of it, but crossbody Armstrong goes for a near fall, gets a near fall, manages to take Williams to uh, the buckle, manages to go off on him, and then DiBiase comes back in legally via a tag. Meanwhile, tag off to Terry Daniels. Daniels tries the second rope reverse cross body, takes the referee out, and they send him over the top rope. Use of the glove, and Duggan runs into clean house on his former adversaries, and Armstrong gets kiboshed in the process. So Duggan's war with Williams uh, and DiBiase not over by a long shot. Barbarian, I don't know if this is his television debut. If not, it's very close to it. Skandar Akbar is his adversary there. Shawn Michaels, or is his manager there. Shawn Michaels provides the opposition. Barbarian, big surprise here, uses power moves and kind of, hip tosses and the like. Jumping across the back, he looks to be in $1 million worth of shape, and he's teeing it up, and he's good to go. Michaels, obviously the bounce around seller here. Elbow to the top of the head. The referee gets in there and kind of says, "What are you doing?" Big slam on Michaels. Michaels selling like a rag doll, as well he should. Barbarian gaining a victory after almost, I guess you'd say, a slam, a huge slam, and an elbow drop. 1, 2, 3. Akbar's latest find is happy there. The Dirty White Boys up next, or I'm sorry, Kamala up next. Iceman King Parsons is his opposition. Dirty White Boys are next segment. Skipped segment there. Um, Obviously, Parsons and Kamala have wrestled a time or two before. Parsons, not exactly the greatest thing in this area, but he's showing, a certain level of babyface vulnerability. Punch, kick, around we go. Parsons not willing to back down. Kamala manages to hit the buckle pretty hard, then manages to come back, punch, kick, chop, and Kamala in control on the basis of the fact that he has, kind of keeping things wide open there. Kamala continues with the brawl, then goes into the nerve holds that he has, I don't know, made famous is the right terminology, but been using to keep himself alive for quite a while. We do get, that match going on for a good bit. Kamala actually works the nerve holds on the rib cage area for several minutes. Uh, um, Parsons will fight up every once in a while, but it's never consistent. So that leads to some challenges that way. Finally, does make his way back to his feet a little bit. Kamala is able to cut him off with a few shots along the way. Um, Parsons ducks a clothesline, drives Kamala back. Um, Needless to say, you know, good old Parsons isn't happy. Hits a drop kick under the chin of Kamala. Doesn't get all he wants on it. Kamala goes, um, or Kamala does get the match thrown out due to disqualification technicality. And Hercules comes in beating down on his adversary. Then the match is thrown out from that basis. Dirty White Boys against Dave Bowen and Mike Jackson. Dirty White Boys are here, you know, for a while. They're going to continue to go around there. Basically, they're dressed in street level gear. Jackson gets beat on punch kick, real basic stuff. They're used as a top tag team for a little while. Back elbow, and then the Samoan drop by the Dirty White Boys. 1, 2, 3 in this enhancement talent match. Main event, or final match of the day, Kerry Von Erich and Buddy Landel. Von Erich, of course, in from World Class. He's not here for a terribly long time, a few months, I think. But the idea, former NWA champion, bringing him in just to extend the influence of the World Class territory is the main idea. Von Erich gets some ride time. Landel is fantastic. Landel spends the majority of their short 4 or 5 minute match in a backwards motion type step, basically making Kerry look like $1,000,000. We see Kerry crank on the arm for several minutes. Every time that it really looks like Kerry's in control, Landel backs off. That's the story of the match there. Tackles along the way, and obviously Kerry looking to get advantages wherever he can. Misses the shoulder tackle into the steel post. Does Von Erich. Von Erich spins things around, tries to get everywhere he possibly can. Big claw in the middle, and Kerry with a victory with the claw here in March of '85. And we will return right after this.